right, let's see next question here. Oh my god, Steph. When did you know that I was the one you wanted to spend the rest of your life with? I got this.
Leave them nuts hanging out.
What's up, buddies? Welcome to a long-awaited Q&A video. Now, I can't even remember the last time I did a Q&A video, and actually, the reason I'm even doing this is because my little brother was over for breakfast the other day, and he said, "Yo, Nikki, when are you gonna do another one?" So, Alex, here you go, my man. So I'm gonna do it a little bit simpler and a little bit easier today. Gonna try and make this video as cool and fun as possible, answer a different variety of questions. I tweeted out basically just saying, ask me some questions for a Q&A video with the hashtag Ask28T, and we got an insane amount of questions, and some boring ones and some just incredibly unoriginal ones. What's your favorite number and color of the alphabet and that type of stuff. But I'm gonna be weeding through as many of them as I can and trying to answer as many good ones as I can. So let's scroll through here and get started right away. So here's a question from David Lopez. He says, will you go blonde again? And that's a good question. I went blonde, I think about a year ago. We actually did it as a dare and a challenge on one of my streams, and I will be bringing those challenges back to my streams this upcoming summer. So maybe, God help everyone, because I was a scary looking dude as a blonde. I'm so jealous of like the Scandinavian, you know, Norwegian, Swedish, like all the people up in those areas, the beautiful Vikings. Let's put it that way. Honestly, man, the Vikings just have advanced genes, and I wish I was blonde with blue eyes and could grow my beautiful beard out, but it would be all blonde? Come on, man. Anyways, to stop myself going on a rant of really handsome people, let's just push on. So Jordan McMurdini asks, would you rather have 1 million subs on YouTube, this is an easy question to answer, or 15,000 subs on Twitch? Well, I'm kind of happy with how we're doing on YouTube. You know, the channel slowed down a little bit a few months ago, but it's starting to pick up again. Views are doing great again, and I'm just very grateful for where we're at. I think we're at 380,000 subscribers right now. So I'm just happy where my YouTube channel is. But then the real answer here, the no BS answer for you is 1 million subs on YouTube is great, but that doesn't guarantee you any type of viewership. Whereas 15,000 subs on Twitch means 15,000 people that are subbed to my channel, which means they're paying $5 a month to watch my content. And yeah, that's a lot of money, so I think I would take that. Anyways, moving on here. So this is actually a good one. So I don't mind any type of Q&A questions I get. This is, I think, a would you rather from Vince Loves Maria. Okay, bro, cool it there. Choose one. Keep doing YouTube and everything is the same, or quit YouTube, but you can have any car you want in the world. Now, again, this is actually a simple one for me. I'm a simple person. Now, you know, my dream cars, as you guys know, aren't like Lamborghinis and LaFerraris. My dream car's always been a Porsche, a certain type of Porsche specifically, but that car is very expensive now, so still a certain type of Porsche. And I wouldn't, at the same time, give up my job and my dream job, whether it was Twitch or YouTube, to get any car I want, because I'd rather keep the jobs I have. I'm very blessed to be able to do what I do and just work towards one of my dream cars eventually. All right, what do we got here? Easy one from Zach Reeb. I thought everyone knew this, especially considering it's right on my Twitter header, but when is your birthday? August 18th. But building on that, this is a cool piece of information that I'm not sure many of my subs know at this point. I have the exact same birthday as my Jiddo, who's my grandfather. Lebanese people call their grandfathers Jiddo. So my Jiddo is born on August 18th, and his name is actually Nicholas as well. So when I was born, when, you know, my dad and mom had me, I was the firstborn son and firstborn kid of my generation. So when I was born on the exact same day as my grandfather, my dad then also decided to name me Nicholas. So I'm Nicholas Jr., and my Jiddo, my grandfather, is Nicholas Sr. All right, and right above that question, actually, you know what, Jordan? I gotta say, you asked some good questions, because this is the second one in this video already. Name one video you regret making on your YouTube channel. Well, that one is very easy for me. I don't know if you guys, again, this was a video that I did when I was a lot smaller, when myself and Chris MD actually were a hell of a lot smaller. But the FIFA forfeit challenge video I did versus Chris MD, where we had 5 progressively worse challenges, to do every time we conceded a goal. The last one being to eat cat food. I'll toss in a clip, I'm sure. Oh, come on. Fuck my life, dude. Oh my God. Okay, there's the full amount. The game's going. I had to do this freaking the entire time. Oh God, just the smell. Oh, I think I'm gonna puke. Oh, please God. There you guys go. You fucking happy? I don't give a fuck. That's a full spoon. No, it's not. No, that's a full spoon, isn't it? Oh God, oh God, oh God. Don't fall on my computer, you piece of shit. Bottoms up. No, seriously, mute the volume if you've got a weak stomach. Oh, that's so bad! No! No, mama! No, mama! I gotta die. I gotta fucking die. Here's a good one. From Liam Hathaway, he says, would you rather Leeds win the Champions League or the Netherlands win the World Cup? Oh man, so again, I don't know if a lot of people know this. I know I'm wearing a PSG jersey. It's at the end of the day because I'm a Zlatan Ibrahimovic fan. I have a lot of jerseys of a lot of teams based on just the players that are on the back. I'm a fan of a lot of players. So in case you guys, don't get it twisted. I am through and through a Leeds United fan. I'm also half Dutch, so this is why this question is going to be so hard to answer. And I honestly don't know how to answer it. The Netherlands are a bunch of flops, biggest choke artists ever, the most frustrating nation to back since I've been a kid. Always the bridesmaid, always, the maid of honor, never the bride in terms of winning the Euros and the World Cup. 2010 was heartbreaking for me. I'm still shocked at how Robin missed 2 breakaways and then we got our hearts broken by Iniesta. Freaking Euros, same thing. It's just, just piss me off. And then Leeds United, honestly, I'm starting to realize that the clubs that I support based off of my background and my nationality and then, support just off of who I like, Leeds United, are all pretty terrible. But if I'm honest, especially for my family back in the Netherlands, I've got a lot of cousins that live in Amsterdam and in Hulst and stuff that are Ajax fans and super Netherlands, like Dutch national team fans and supporters. They travel to different countries to watch the team play. So for my cousins and a little bit for myself, a little bit of bragging rights for me, I would love to see the Netherlands win a World Cup. So next question we got from Free Kick Jedi. Would you ever move to London, another city, to live with other YouTubers or anyone else? And why would or wouldn't you? So that's a great question. Well, all of these questions that I'm picking in my opinion are great. So I'll probably stop saying that from here forward, but it's a tough one for me to answer, again, because yes, I would love to move to a different country. I've talked about it endlessly, moving to the UK. I don't know, as a Canadian citizen, I live in British Columbia. I don't know if that holds any weight in any shape or form, but I don't think there's really any way for me to easily just move or immigrate to the UK. But that would be something I would look at way more seriously if I hadn't set roots here, hadn't bought a house, haven't got married and had kids in Canada and stuff. My wife, we live near her parents and her sisters, and I live near my grandparents and all that stuff. So if I didn't have all these roots set and I wasn't married and stuff like that, or maybe it was just me and Steph and I could convince Steph to move with me to the UK, then absolutely. But at this point, I'm more looking out to keep my family happy, and I try to do everything really at the end of the day for them. So keeping them happy means keeping them around their cousins and their grandparents and all that stuff, which means staying in Canada. So unfortunately, my YouTube career and stuff may suffer a little bit. I can't do like collabs left, right, and center easily, take the train somewhere to do a collab with Andy. It's got to all be done remote. Even going to events and stuff like that, whether it's like the Sidemen party or anything at all, going to different, like to Gamescom or anything, it becomes 10 times harder for me because I live on the west coast of Canada, first of all. And second of all, to be honest, because I'm a streamer and it's really hard for me to take breaks and, stop streaming for a week at a time or 4 or 5 days at a time to travel, to Europe, makes it really hard for me to get to other places. So yeah, may suffer a little bit, my channel, in terms of doing live collabs and, crossbar challenges and stuff like that, but it's something I've chosen and I'll have to deal with. I like this one. Okay, so Bill Thomas asks, best and worst parts about living in Canada. Okay, so I could go on and on and on about the best parts about living in Canada. You know, there's been moments when I've been streaming where my neighbor will be cutting his grass and then will randomly just start cutting my grass just to be a good neighbor. So there's stuff like that. Obviously, you know, free healthcare. There's no guns. I think that's a huge perk, and there's no real terrible crimes either. So I like all of that stuff. Where I live is beautiful. Vancouver is an incredibly gorgeous city. We have beaches within 30 minutes. We have Whistler and mountains and skiing within 40 minutes. We have the border to the US to go down for, you know, relatively cheap shopping or just go watch a Seattle Seahawks game 40 minutes away. So where I live is incredible. The weather is incredibly temperate, if you will. I don't know if that's the exact right word, but it's very mild. So it rains, you know, 80% of the year here. We get maybe 1 or 2 days of snow and then, you know, about 2 or 3 months of beautiful sunshine in the summer. So I love this city. Now, that's also what makes it the worst place in the world to live for a lot of reasons. Because it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world to live, not just in my opinion, do a bit of research. The housing market is the most ridiculous thing you will ever see. The house we purchased, I don't even want to say what we had to pay. I don't even want to tell you guys how much it's worth right now. But if you saw my house, and one day I will do, you know, a house tour and stuff like that. But I live in a pile of garbage. Now, we live in a very sought after area, in an area with great schools, again, where Steph's parents live and all that stuff and have grown up. It's a very wanted to live area. But if we wanted to live in a new house in our area, we'd have to spend anywhere from $2 to $3 million, and that's not something that I had, especially 2 years ago when we bought this house. Needless to say, though, one of the worst parts of at least living in Vancouver is the housing prices. It's just absolutely incredible. And then with that, I know that we get free Medicare and all that stuff, but it isn't really free. Just in case any of you guys are thinking of moving to Canada and stuff like that, that stuff costs a hell of a lot. And I've heard in terms of what the income taxes and stuff like that in other parts of the world, and I'm pretty sure that Vancouver, or maybe Canada in general, has some insane income taxes. I'm talking 50% of your income is taxed. I feel like I have to answer this from Steph. So Mrs. Nick 2018, my wife, asks, boobies, this is a tough question as well. She's trying to put me in the doghouse. Boobies or booties? Now, I've already trolled her with one answer, and I'm still proud of that answer, man. Honestly, that tweet banged all over Twitter. Anyways, booties or boobies? How do you answer this, Nick 2018, without being in trouble? Now, Steph's probably watching this video right now, waiting for my dumbass to give her an answer. So I'm going to give the most political Canadian answer ever. Both? I'm spoiled, man. My lady's got it all. Seriously. I know it's cringy to say. You can write cringe 2018 in the chat, but I'm lucky. She's got the booty and the boobies and the everything. So works for me. Now, let's figuratively say I wasn't married to Mrs. Nick 2018. What would be my answer? I don't know, because honestly, I think I'm like any guy. I just love the human form that is a female, and women are just gorgeous, whether it's their boobies or their butts or their legs or their stomachs or their hair. I like it all, man. So I would say both for the most part, but I feel like if you really get down to it, a booty is something like, I'm talking a nice booty, like a nice booty. That's something that's hard to get. I'm sure maybe there's some sort of booty implants or something like that, but I'm saying like a nice booty, you gotta work for that. And that is commendable and beautiful. Whereas the boobies, if you don't have a lot in the booby department, there's things that you can just get amazing boobies, you know, within, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, month of recovery or whatever. So if I had to choose, I would say a booty, and then, if the girl didn't really like her boobies the way they were, you could help out, or she could help herself out, and you could... Have I dug myself a hole here? Here's a good question. So someone asking, the phenomenal Michael, asking what I do for fitness. He says, what are the things you do outside of YouTube in terms of fitness? What are your goals? Do you take supplements? You know what? Considering I just got a new gym installed, it doesn't sound as awesome. You know what? Let me show you guys. Let me take you on a little bit of a walk. So here we go. Let me quickly show you guys. Open the door. Don't mind my little white chipotles hanging out over here. Let me turn on some lights. Don't mind in here. This is kind of just the basement. We actually just put a new bathroom in, believe it or not. Don't know if you can see in there. Anyways, there's the pooper. Okay, cool. Laundry machine. So like I said, super crappy house. And if you go into here, You guys may recognize this. Let me turn on some lighting here. Oh, you guys remember the old office? Now, the lighting's gonna be terrible, but anyone that used to watch my YouTube videos would recognize this corner over here. That's where my old office used to be before we built that soundproof office that I'm in now for the green screen and all that stuff. But if I'm honest, this is what I use for fitness and stuff like that. So I recently bought this like Bowflex. They're like dumbbells, but instead of getting a full, oh wow, this lighting is terrible. I apologize if you guys can't see anything, but instead of getting, you know, dumbbells from 10 pounds to 90 pounds and a full rack and stuff like that, I got a full set on its own. I also ended up investing in it's basically an elliptical, a step machine, and a treadmill all in one, and it's called the Bowflex Tread Climber. Let me show you guys. So I try to crush this beast out, I think 20 to 30 minutes a day during the week. So I try to do 5 times a week. And then I got an incline, again, I really apologize for the terrible lighting, an incline decline bench to do just, you know, free weight stuff. So that's kind of what I do. I don't know where the lighting is, but that's kind of what I do for fitness. In terms of supplements and stuff like that, I don't take anything because I don't know if you've looked at me or not, but I'm not really working out too hard. I'm trying to cut the dad gut. Once the dad gut is gone, then I'll get into it. I'll try and take some supplements, maybe a little bit of creatine, stuff like that, but nothing too serious. So hopefully that answers that for you guys. The next question we got is from Todd. He says, do you still rate Memphis at United, or do you believe his career has gone worse since joining them? So, being, you know, part Dutch and a Netherlands supporter right now, honestly, I've just changed allegiances to the Belgian national team until the end of the Euros. You guys know that story. It's a bit of a joke, but I am supporting the Belgian national team. I got a lot of family that lives in Belgium. My godfather, my uncle lives there in Brussels. So I hope that, the Belgian national team does well. Having said that, in terms of Memphis and all that stuff, I don't think you can write him off just yet. I am really disappointed with how he's playing and all that stuff. I feel like, again, he's living more the life of the pro footballer, but not actually translating that on the pitch. But I don't know if that's him. I don't know if he has family problems. I don't know if he seems like he has a big entourage. I don't know if they're a bad influence on him. I don't know if it's Louis van Gaal's tactics, because as you guys know, his tactics are all over the place and doesn't really cater to someone like Memphis. However, that argument doesn't really stand up because at least Martial is trying to adapt and doing better than Depay when Van Gaal uses him anywhere and everywhere on the pitch. So I don't know. I think you gotta wait a little bit, see what happens at United. Who knows? There's rumblings that maybe Mourinho will come in. I predicted that, near the beginning of the season as well, that maybe Mourinho could come in and make a big change. I think he'd be a great signing by United. That could happen, and who knows? Depay could flourish. So next question we got from FNS FIFA YouTube, little promotion for him. Will you try and show Ethan how to be a YouTuber in a couple of years, like take your kid to work day, stuff like that? Well, that's a two-part answer I'm going to give you. First of all, Ethan is already fully involved in all my streams. You guys have seen him in a bunch of my YouTube videos and stuff like that. I did a one-off FUT draft video where Ethan helped me build the FUT draft team and help me play in it. And that video, I think I released it about 3 weeks ago, and it's like my third most watched video now. I think it almost has 400,000 views. So either you guys love seeing Ethan on the channel, or you guys love my one-off FUT draft video. So I gotta figure that out and start releasing a few more videos like that. Second answer to that, though, is it's a tough thing. I don't want to push Ethan too much into the YouTube and streaming, world and stuff like that, because he already, at 4 years old, is already asking me and already, trying to follow in my footsteps, and is very, very loving of what I do. He's a super big fan of Dan TDM, the Minecraft guy and stuff like that. And I really want Ethan to pursue school and all that type of stuff, because that's very important. And as coming from someone that took a lot of schooling, I've got, multiple degrees or almost multiple degrees. I went to university for sciences, for dentistry. I then did accounting, and then I got my proper degree in marketing and business and stuff like that. So I've done a lot of post-secondary, high school, straight A's and all that stuff. And I want my kids to know that that is important. Now, that's just the way I think. I think it puts a good head on your shoulders and stuff like that. And I think Ethan's starting to understand that, for a lot of people, anyways, in my opinion, this YouTube thing doesn't pop. It doesn't take off. Same thing for streaming. It's a very small percentage of people that get lucky enough to call this a job. And then who knows how long the job lasts, right? I might not even be doing this next year. Who knows? At least I can go back on my schooling. I can go back to the marketing company that I used to run in the past and do that. So having things to fall back on is always a good play in my opinion, and I kind of just want to instill that in him. I don't want him to think that like playing video games and stuff like that is the be all end all, because 99.9% of the time it isn't. Anyways, that's just me trying to be a little bit realistic. Let's move on here. Morgan Cowell asks a question that I kind of answered a little bit earlier, or alluded to a little bit earlier, but who do I think will win the Euros? And when are you coming to the UK? So let me answer the first one. Who I think will win the Euros and who I hope will win the Euros is the Belgian national team. I think they've got everything right. I think their players are all maturing at the right time. There's a few injury worries now, though. Vincent Kompany seems to be made of glass all of a sudden, although I guess he's been dealing with some injury issues the last year and a bit. But De Bruyne, I haven't really looked into his injury, but that seems like a problem. And even if he gets himself healthy for the Euros, how healthy is he going to come back? And that's a worry, because he's been playing lights out for Man City. So I hope he comes back healthy. I hope the Belgian national team can win the Euros. And in terms coming to the UK, I was planning on going to the UK end of March. No idea what's happening. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I'm aiming for. There is actually a Netherlands game. I think it's a friendly between England. I might try and go to that with Nepenthes and stuff like that and a few other YouTubers. So I'm aiming for the end of March or beginning of April or something like that. Around that time. That's the goal. Now, Andrew Cliff has a good question as well in terms of what I think is the best January transfer move. And honestly, it just has to be Pep Guardiola to Man City. That is going to help out, I think, bring even more, mystique and just awesome drama to the Premier League. And honestly, I think every Premier League club is now incredibly worried that Man City is going to dominate for the next 3 years with the type of players they have, and now bringing in Pep. So Eth Main is basically asking if I can speak Arabic. في نحكي عربي حبيبي بجدي وبيي وعائلتي كلهم من لبنان, so أكيد في نحكي عربي. Josh asks, what is my favorite TV show? Now, currently, my favorite TV show is Vikings. That's kind of what I'm watching right now, and I absolutely love it. Again, I just love everything about that bit of history, and I know there's a lot of gruesome stuff with the history if you really look into it, but there's just a lot of interesting stuff, and that show is fantastic. There's actually another show that kind of revolves around Vikings on Netflix. Can't remember it right now off the top of my head, but I'm also watching that one and I'm loving it. And then myself and Steph are watching Orange is the New Black right now, and she likes the show, believe it or not, more than me, but there's a lot of boobs and butts and stuff, so whatever, I'm not going to complain. Josh asks, what vloggers do I watch? I mean, like everybody, I watch Casey Neistat, although I do have to say, if I wasn't so lazy, I'd show you guys when I've been subbed to him, but I subbed to him, I think, before he even started doing vlogs, back when he was just like a one-off filmmaker. I loved his films. The film Me and My Son and stuff like that I thought were incredible. So Casey Neistat is definitely and nowadays pretty much everyone's favorite YouTuber. But BF versus GF, I like how they've shifted now pretty much completely into vlogs. I think they're fantastic. And then what he's gone through, I've dealt with in the past as well and stuff like that. Not to the extent that what happened with his mom and stuff like that, but I can relate to that, and I feel for the guy, and I really like their content. I think they're fantastic. And then I've got a few of the YouTube buddies that are vlogging right now as well. Andy's vlogging, Herder of Buffalo is vlogging now, and I do have to say that's something that I want to get into, and it's something that I may want to shift my YouTube channel into slowly. Mix Up Mondays might just end up being a vlog, like a week in review vlog of what I've done in my life and stuff like that. But I need to start doing more interesting things in my life to kind of start vlogging, other than getting up at 7 a.m., getting on the step machine for 30 minutes, showering, eating, streaming for 8 hours, ending the stream, eating dinner with the family, recording, editing videos, putting the kids to bed, and then going to bed. Oh, and on that final question, I think we'll end it there. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was even slightly entertaining for you guys. Pretty sure the video is damn long, as all of my videos nowadays seem to be. But if you want to see more regular Q&As, remember to smash the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And again, I do have to say thank you so much to all the people that have still stuck around and watched my YouTube videos, and hopefully are excited for the different changes that'll be coming to the YouTube channel and the different things that I'll be doing throughout this 2016 calendar year. Lots of exciting stuff planned. I can't wait to share it with you all. And until the next video, we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace!